All right. The end of a week of a fairly profitable month. This week was a little bit choppy in trading. I figure the next 2 weeks are going to be the same, just because it's the end of the month and all the boys are taking vacation, hitting the Hamptons. And I'm getting lots of invitations to go out and hang. But if you know me, you know I'm anti-crowd. So I'll be around and I'll be trading. So anyway, a quick look. Here's the weekly on S&P. You can see the momentum is fading off. You can see the divergence right here. Here's the highs, and the momentum peaked out, and we're making new highs, and the momentum's not moving, and the histogram's not moving. And again, this is all due to light volume, traders being out, no interest in really taking positions, and markets generally float up on light volume. So that's what we have. We're just going to watch it. I mean, the weekly's in an uptrend. We're not going to fight it. We're going to let it keep running, take advantage of it as it goes. Here on the daily, again, you can see that light volume, light momentum, divergence. So we're grinding up, but it makes me wonder, makes me a little apprehensive, looking for a bit of a dip or a correction. At this point, I think just $40, 40 points back on the market would probably be healthy and look pretty good. No reason why it can't be 60, but I'm thinking just a 40-point pullback, and that's 1 or 2 days of really good orderly trading. So take a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin took a little bit of a beating because probably because of the hacker, U.S. government kind of blocking some moves. IRS looking to tag investors. But I think the hacker issue is the biggest issue. And you could see this in the week trade. You see the little tail. I mean, that tail's encouraging. You get upward momentum. It looks like it wants to still push up. But I think this hacker issue is going to get in the middle of this a little bit because people are going to question their vulnerability and exposure. And that was the weekly chart. On the daily chart, looks like it might be putting in a double top. And this is just a derivative I'm looking at. So I'm not talking any numbers, because they're not consistent with the actual coin, but the patterns would be consistent, and we're looking for a double top. So anyway, breaking the highs, it would be a pretty good entry. Quick look at the composite, and on the weeklies, the composite or NASDAQ, this is a very strong bar, and then you made a new high here, but this is an inside bar. You see a little tapering of the momentum on the weekly, so it looks like it wants to give back a little bit. Nothing aggressive, probably just a healthy little correction. So if you're looking to take some nice longs, you could probably wait and maybe see a nice entry on a low next week. But again, it's grinding its way up, and we're just going to let it run. If you wanted to get long right away, you could take, well, you know what, either way, I mean, you could take a break of the high, and that's just a good entry. Or you could wait for a little consolidation, which I think we may see next week. The 1 minute, the 60, the 1 day or daily, kind of supports that view. Here you have a high with a peak on the MACD or the MACD, another high with a lower peak in momentum, and another high with a lower peak in momentum. So it's just as that momentum rolls off, you got to really look for a correction or a consolidation. The correction really wouldn't begin until it breaks this low right here of 14,584.89. Then you could look for a move down in the market, and that's the composite on the weekly. I'm sure the daily supports that theory, which it does. Yeah, they're the the peaks grinding new highs with the momentum rolling off. But as the momentum rolls off, and loses its aggressive nature to the downside, then you could really argue that this is moving more into a consolidation than a trade-off. But nonetheless, it's cause to take pause and just watch it and protect your downside. And again, I'm confident we're going to see the same thing. And here it is. Making highs with lower highs on momentum. So a little pullback will do us good, alleviate that question, and we could start investing a little more aggressively or trading a little more aggressively. Apple on the week. I'm just neutral on it. Looks like it's in consolidation, probably waiting for a few questions to get answered about the markets, and away it goes. I mean, it's got its upward grind. It's building a nice little channel here. With a nice consolidation, you could look for a breakout, and that's on the weeklies. And the dailies, a little shorter term. You see we're making highs. The momentum's rolling off, making a nice consolidation. This looks like a good pennant. I don't need to do that. I need to do that. Pop through that pennant and then trade it back. I just would argue that it's testing that pennant. You could look for a break either way next week. More likely than not, it's going to be a break to the upside. And we're not going to do that one yet, so everybody doesn't leave me and watches the whole shebang. Amazon. So I would just argue an upward trend. It's a little rough. I don't really like Evel Knieveling it, but that is the trend right there. The momentum is doing the same thing. Momentum slowly grinding up. It hasn't made another low. I mean, if it breaks through this line and this momentum creates a lower low, then I'd start to think that it's getting ready to reverse. But nonetheless, I mean, here we have a high, here we have a low. It's a higher low. Here we have a higher high, and here we have a higher low. So we're still in an uptrend. Can't argue. This is a strong bar down, and this looks like a flag for a weekly, which could be pretty scary. That could be the beginning of a continuing move, being a bull flag right here. But we're going to have to watch it and see what it does next week. I think it's going to test this line and probably turn around. I mean, it's Amazon, and you can pretty much count on Amazon to grind its way up. And I know this is so exciting. I'm moving through this. It's actually very early on Saturday, and I'm sitting here having my coffee and doing this. I don't know. It looks like that it might test that 200-day. The momentum is flattening out over here. So we may give a test to the 200-day and take off, or it may turn around. But on a daily, if you're looking for a good swing trade, a break above the 33.91 would be my entry. And then you'll probably see this gap fill, which that's a really nice move for a swing trade right there. I don't know. PLTR. That's an interesting stock. See if we can get it. There we go. I believe Kathy. Oh, Jesus Christ! I believe Kathy Wood's mutual fund is buying it, and that's a lot of buying power and trading. So anyway. The high right here, 2750, I would watch this for the break of the 2750 and get involved. I mean, there's a lot of catalyst behind it to move it. You could put your first target right here at that gap at 31. So you've got easily 4 points in it right there. Take a piece off, move your stop to a break even, and then ride the rest of it up on the market money. I mean, that's the play I would do. I might even look at it next week, and that's on a weekly, so that's That's going to move. And then long term, I wouldn't be surprised if we break that 45. But we'll keep an eye on it. Look for that entry right here. Let's see what it's telling us on the daily. On the daily, it already made the move. It made the break here. So you could wait for that entry or take it on a pullback. This is a very indecisive bar right here. Next week, you could look for a break of this inside bar and find your entry there. I'd avoid any shorts on it and just look to play it long, just based on the buying power that's getting behind it. And they're not doing it in just one day. They're going to do it over a period of time. Good old Tesla. Oh, that's a nice looking weekly chart, right? It had this shooting star. It never triggered. Put in this indecisive bar. I don't see an entry, but it's a good consolidation. The only entry I would consider is probably breaking this high right here, which is 780.79. And I'd just watch it. I mean, it could develop another pattern down here, but right now that's the only entry I'd be looking at. But you could just stay bullish as long as it stays above that line. You could call it bullish. The momentum's favoring it, and that's on a weekly basis, so that's a nice long move. You could try to find your entry on the daily, and here's a nice little consolidation. I would come on. Oh, there you go. I would call this my high. See if it tests that again. 729.90. I could look for an entry right there. I'd be comfortable with that. But the momentum looks like it's fading out a little bit, so I'd watch it. But I'd call this my channel right here, and see what it does inside this channel, and take a break of that channel. I'd like to see it pull back in another test to the high. It's 94. It's about a buck difference. Yeah, you could say that's a good test of the high. That's a double test of that trading range. I likey. And then looking at AMC. You know how I feel about this. All you guys who listen to me. I still think we're coming down to that 26 area. There's nothing here telling me anything's changed about it on the weekly. I mean, we just got to break this low. We're testing this low. I mean, folks are putting in a good fight. There's no doubt about it. But it's going to break this low. And I don't see anything here that's telling me it's going to fall apart and go back to 10 and everything like that. But there's nothing happening here that's telling me it's going to break that 70 and change mark. It's not going to start making new highs. I'm very convinced. 72.62. I think it's probably going to fill in that gap and then just churn around there. And, we're looking at a $27 to $33 stock. And I think that's going to be the case for a long time. So if you made your money, take your money. If you took money off the table, good for you. If you want to play it out, I would just, at the very least, I'd have my stops at a break even. I wouldn't be gambling any money on this. The thrill is gone. Here it is on the daily. Just consolidating, really. Nothing. You could stay positive above this trend line right here, but there's no catalyst. There's nothing going on. It closed the gap on the daily, which is good, but you still got that gap lingering on the weekly, which it may come and close. And this looks like a continuation pattern right here. So I'm thinking, if we see that 22, it closes the weekly gap, and then we see where it goes from there. I'm pretty sure it's going to hit that 22 and then start consolidating or get spiritually close to it. So anyway, that's my spiel for the weekend. I hope everybody had a good week trading. Hey, just remember that if you're feeling any emotion or trading emotionally, you're not trading properly. So you got to stay calm. You got to stay at peace. And good luck trading.